Hey guys, it's Holy Taboo, and I'm here with this new video talking about the Guardian's Awakening weapon. And keep in mind, this is all speculation. As of yet, nothing has been confirmed. There have been some, obviously, data mined stuff, which will be spoilers. And that is right at the end. I'll give you a bit of a heads up before I get to that, just in case you want it to be a surprise. Anyway, the concept of this video, I've gone to Reddit. I made a thread, and I just said, guys, in your ideal world, what would you like the Guardian's Awakening weapon to be? And of course, we had a range of things, some of it weird, some of it wonderful. So I've obviously taken the liberty of looking at your comments and, you know, putting together what we could find. Now, some have already been done. Now, the first one, I see someone wants a Shai. So fair enough. Let's see what the Guardian would look like if we equip it with a Shai. So here she is, carrying the little girl with her. Yeah, kind of cool, bit different. One of the more quirky, weird ones, but you know, hey, I like it. So luckily I actually didn't have to do this one, so thank you first who actually did Photoshop this one. But so yeah, Shai, not the weirdest one, but a couple of odd ones. So let's have a look at the next one. Snoo. Obviously we've all got love Snoo, and obviously a nice one from the land of the giants. Now, I didn't equip her with anything because Snoo, she's got those thighs. Look at her. She's already equipped for Snoo. She doesn't need any weapon adding there. So yeah, okay. She is already equipped with Snoo. That's fine. So the next one, giant dildo. Now, of course, being a family-friendly channel, there is no way I could put that on my screen. So you can just pretend, because if you know what a giant dildo is, you can see what it looks like. So yeah. Think about that in her hand right now. No, don't. I don't want you to have that reaction while even watching this video. Terrible. Anyway, the next one. Bear arms. Fair play. Let's see what she'd look like with a bear arm. And I just want to point out here, I learned Photoshop today, as you can tell. But hey, actually quite a cool idea that maybe she comes one with nature and gets a little bit grisly. Now, in fairness, someone did say about her completely transforming into a bear, but I can't be bothered to put a bear on the screen. You know what that looks like. The concept behind it is quite cool, you know, like a druid type thing. So yeah, it's cool. Possibility? Maybe. Lightly? No, but hey, nice idea. Swiftly moving on. I quite like this concept. Her class is a guardian, so she could be a shield user when she awakens. Shield for attacks, shield for defense, shield for days. Yeah, but whether or not it's fun, you know, like I said, they could put it as Shais. So actually, again, I quite like the idea of this. I know a lot of people weren't so keen on it on the Reddit clip. So here she is with the big old shield. I've kept it offhand shielding as well because, you know, shield for days, yeah? So yeah, it's different, it's quirky. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be the one. In fact, we know it's not going to be the one, but yeah, it's quite cool. I like that. And you know what? The concept behind it actually does fit into this whole new meta concept, which it seems like BDO are trying to slowly slides into. So think about the Shai with their whole like healing mentality support thing. A lot of people did want this class to be a tanky type class, and you know, there's still a potential it will come, but yeah, this idea would fit that. So yeah, toodles, I like that. A lot of people had similar ideas, but this next one, again, it's quite a nice idea. The idea of a massive club. Now, apologies for this Photoshop, but here we go. Yeah, I know it's not a massive club, but you can see it's some sort of like spiky maze thing. I really like this idea for considering, you know, I know she's called a guardian, but she does feel a little bit more sort of like Viking-y and a little bit more barbarian type. And that would fit. I really do like that. It's a cool idea. So I apologise for my terrible photoshopping skills there. A lot of thought was put into this, but Successions came out today. I want to talk about that later as well, but not in this video, Christ. But so yeah, you can see why maybe not as much time went in, but still. Cool concept. We have the concept of great axes or big two-handed axes, and this came up quite a lot. So I've put two options in here as such. This is one, obviously it's taken from WoW, but this whole sort of like fur, I don't say fur, it's got like the feathers on, the bones on, it's a bit more sort of like brutal, if you like. So that could be one type. Or we could go to the other, like this one, which is a bit more like pristine. You can see it's glistening, it looks very clean, very sharp, and just, you know, a contrast to the first. So they're ideas that I kind of like the look of as well. So yeah, potentially and hopefully. So from the great axe to hammer, because apparently Maywars will get yeeted if you give them a hammer. So how about this? Yeah, see it, the hammer? No, not like that one, Reddit. Oh, okay, but you did say hammer, so yeah, not epic enough. Okay, so okay, I'll take your point. Great hammer, that's bigger than the warrior's greatsword. So how about this? Okay, stop that. Right, let's have a look at one seriously. I see there being two ways of them doing this. Like, one is to have a hammer sort of like this, which is spiky. It is a bit more mace-like than a hammer, but I guess it's kind of from the same cloth. Or you can go somewhere like this, which is your mythical one. Obviously, I've taken Thor's here. But, you know, the concept of magical, because they did put this thing about this whole, like, fire magic-y type thing. So maybe something like that would be quite cool and walking the law. Another one that I really love the idea of, a whole two-handed flail, but with 3 heads for maximizing awesomeness. And this just made me think of Diablo, and I quite like this because I think the flails look quite cool, and I could imagine they'd have some really cool attack animations with these as well. So I put that on. I really like that. I think that's such a cool idea, and again, it goes to that whole sort of like, as I'd say, like a barbarian type thing. So yeah, I like that. Top notch for that one. Okay, before I go on, spoilers ahead. Well, kind of ish. I mean, if you don't know these by now and you've been on Reddit, I'm sure you will know. But yeah, so ahead, I'm going to call it a spoiler because obviously nothing is confirmed, but something has been data mined, and obviously that's in the comments, you know, as well. So if you don't want to see what that is, please stop now. Thank you for watching, etc. But obviously, for those who are, let's go talk about what that awakening weapon could be. So here's your last chance. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. And here's the one. I heard it might be a halberd. Now, keep in mind the other word for this, or the things that are quite close, are pole arms, which a lot of people are more familiar with. So the thing which a few of us have been talking about and say that the issue with the pole arm is you've got to be very careful, because the definition of a pole arm can be something very similar to what a Musa or a Maywar already use to an extent. So you have to be very careful. So if I put on the screen now a more traditional, as they'd say, halberd type thing, as you see, it's this sort of pikeman type thing, which is sort of like a very, very long shaft, God, with an axe head and normally a big spike on the end. Now that is your typical halberd, or, you know, your pole arm type thing. I hope they don't go that sort of simple as it's put on the video here, just because I think that would be a bit of a letdown. I think this class needs something big and juicy, because I think that would just make it work better and be a bit more cooler. The only other issue with those sort of weapons are in other games they tend to be a bit hack and slashy. So yeah, fingers crossed. Anyway, I've got a couple more designs and stuff that we could talk about and just see what we think. So let's have a look at the next one. So this is another example of, again, a really simple design. And as you can see, it still fits. I'm just going to say pole arm because everyone will take the piss out of how I'm saying it. Otherwise, it fits the kind of the pole arm mentality because it has the pole which you're holding on to, and it has the weapon part on the end. And on this, rather than having the spiky axe type thing, it has a blade. So this looks more like a short sword put onto a stave. And that's what pole arm is. So they could go down this route, and I've got a better one at the end, which is something I'm more hoping for. But I think this is going to be more likely than, you know, a smaller model. I think they'll either go for a very big axe head or a very big blade. So this is one. Now let's have a look at another. And this is one where it might just fall into a little bit too close into the Maywar territory, because it does look a little bit more like a spear. But again, you know, there's that definition between pole arm and spear. It is a little bit tough. And again, someone will say, yeah, halberd isn't quite a pole arm, but you get where we're coming from. So it could be something like this. And if it does go that way, I hope they do put a bit of colour onto it and don't make it just look as black and white. Though let's be fair, there'll be skins available because, you know, there just will be. So let's have a look at the next. So this one that I do quite like the concept of as well, and it would make it slightly different from where the Maywar is the fact of having like a double-headed weapon. So rather than it being a bit too close to the spear, you could have this so they could twizzle it around and use both ends. Again, it's not necessarily so traditional with a pole arm, but it would help differentiate it slightly, even though I'd still worry with this design it does fall into that area. But still, it's something to be different. And again, a couple of these models are taken from WoW because, let's be fair, they've got loads of weapons which are already drawn out. So before anyone comments, yes, I did steal a lot of their designs and we're just chucking them on the carrot to see how it looks like. But yeah, still pretty interesting. And while we talk about putting things out there, this is actually one I do, again, really like the idea of. Now, admittedly, this one could look a little bit close to the Musa's one, because it has a crescentish type blade on the top-ish. But the thing I like about this, and if it was done correctly, was because obviously you've got this whole sort of like Dragon Slayer vibe. Why couldn't the end of the weapon have like a massive dragon claw on, or a dragon's tooth, or something like that to really make it sort of like stick out? So you'd still have the pole arm, but maybe a little bit more lashings around it, and this massive tooth or claw. Now that would fit in really well with the fantasy of the class being what it is, and obviously with something like this, you're expecting her to taunt and sort of throw out that she's beat a dragon and she is a dragon slayer, and nothing says that more than wearing admittedly wearing and wielding the sort of the victim's, well, in this case, tooth or claw. So yeah, I hope they go down something like this. It doesn't need to have anything necessarily shiny on. It would be quite cool maybe if it had a vein or something running through it of this potential holy energy maybe. But yeah, this is a cool idea, I think, and this is one that I do like, and I think it differentiates it enough away from where the Musa is with the Crescent Blade, because, it'd be a fucking tooth or a claw. That's cool, I like that. And, it sort of brings us towards the end, because I've got one more other idea which it could be, and again, this has taken a while, so just give it a second, I'll put that on now. So, last but not least, like I said, the other concept of a pole on halberd is the fact that you can have a pole with a blade on the end. Now, admittedly, this is probably one of the worst Photoshop ones of them all, but one that I really like the concept of. This is a very iconic sort of like wow weapon back from Burning Crusades, even though the original colour was orange, not this sort of fell green as it is here. But I really like this concept because it would be enough to sort of make it stick out from the other classes. It is basically a big ass sword on a long ass stick, and you've got then all the ability to sort of change and mess around with the colors of the actual blade itself, and you could put something on the hilt. This has just got a standard sort of like macy hilt look. But yeah, there's a lot that you could do with that, and you could make that blade big, because let's be fair, you've got the Shai from, as someone quite rightly put, lolly hell. And we've just done the whole thing with the Berserk comic range. We've got another massive sword. So yeah, why not have a skin where the Guardian's going to have this huge bowl arm? So hey, yeah, I think that'll be quite cool. And as far as the ones go from what I think it might be, that's it. And I hope you've enjoyed it. So if I missed out some other ideas, please put them in the comments below. I hope she's not going to go walk around with an inflatable question mark like this. But yeah, honestly, what do you think it's going to be? The data mine stuff is saying like this pole arm halberd type thing, but it could be wrong. I mean, a lot of the time it is bloody accurate, but it still could be wrong. Or even better, link me some weapons which you think it could be, and I'll be happy to take a look, because I think that's pretty cool. Now, for those people, here's a little bonus bit here. Actually, I'm going to say first, like, subscribe and all that. Yeah, it'd be nice to get some more subscribers, hey? Claw, plug. But if you're still here and you're thinking, God, I really want to comment about that terribly amazing Photoshop skills, I'm just going to put something here for you to look at, because it was terrible, and I know it'll annoy some of you. Anyway, enjoy looking at it. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care, and I'll speak to you all soon.